I was watching this video of the All In Summit in which Kamath Palihapitiya was interviewing Peter Thiel, and he said, well, let me show you.
AI in 2023, 2024 is like the internet in 1999. It's really big. It's going to be very important. It's going to transform the world, not in 6 months, but in 20 years. And then there are probably all kinds of incredibly catastrophic approximations where, what businesses are going to make money, who's going to have the monopoly, who's going to have pricing power is super unclear. Probably, one layer deeper of analysis, if attention is all you need, and if you're not post-economic, you need to pay attention to who's making money. And in AI, it's basically one company is making, Nvidia is making over 100% of the profits. Everybody else is collectively losing money. And so there's sort of you have to do some sort of, you should try to do some sort of analysis. Do you go long Nvidia? Do you go short? Is it, my monopoly question, is it a really durable monopoly? And then it's hard for me to know because I'm in Silicon Valley and we haven't done anything in semiconductors for a long time. So I have no clue.
So Peter Thiel has no clue. So I thought, well, maybe I could give him a clue, and maybe I could do some research, and maybe I could help him find some profitable companies other than Nvidia, all wrapped up in this AI movement. So what I did was I took my list of 42 bus 12, bus 13, bus 11 stocks, and I did some analysis. And what I did was show the current price, the PE ratio, and then I went and said, what are they projecting their growth to be in 24, 25, and 26, and are they making any money? And so with that, I said, okay, I'll go and I'll find what Wall Street is projecting their earnings per share are going to go up in those subsequent years, and that will tell me who, if anybody, is making money. And then if they are making money in 24, 25, and 26, how much money are they going to make, and which are going to be the top ones, and which ones are going to be the bottom ones. So I did a spreadsheet. I then went to my data. I then found out what their projected earnings per share growth was in 24, 25, and 26, and then I ranked them. So let me show you that. So here's my chart. As you can see, these are my 42 stocks, I believe it is. And I'm showing you the ticker symbol, what their current price is, what their PE ratio is. Now, this is projected growth in earnings. So this is 24, 25, and 26. Then what I did was take an average of the 3 years and show you what their average growth for the 3-year period of 24 through 26 is going to be. Then I got to thinking, well, I suspect that the 24 growth is already factored into the price of the stock already. So then I did a second column where I said the 25 and 26 growth, what is that percentage? And then I ranked them accordingly. And you're going to see some surprises. What I did then was sort them, and in the 3 years, and I made green those that were the highest. So you can see here's Intel in the 3-year average, because even though in 24 they're showing their growth in earnings are going to be down 75%, in 2025 they're up 356, and then 2026 up 58%. So that gives them an average of 113% in the 3-year and 207% in the 2-year, which makes them, and then I'm ranking them based on the 2-year, the 25 and 26. That makes them the third highest performing stock. Now you might ask, well, who's ahead of them? Well, you'll see that's right here, and that's Micron, and that's because their earnings per share in 24 went from a negative to a positive. It was up 400%. They're projecting a positive to a positive of 635% in 2005, and then in 2006 they're projecting a 34, which gives them a 3-year average of 356 and a 2-year average of 335. which makes them number one. And then who is number two? Well, that's Skywater. Again, a 7%, followed by a 300% growth in earnings, followed by a 337. So in the 3-year, they have an average of 218, and in the 2-year, 323. That makes them number two. So that gives you an idea of how these stocks rank relative to their performance. And so it answers the question that Peter Thiel was asking was basically, I'm in Silicon Valley. I don't know anything about semiconductors. I think that's what he said, which surprises me. So I don't know who's making money other than Nvidia. Now, how does Nvidia stack up against the rest? Well, okay, let's look here. Nvidia made a 119% increase in earnings in 2024. In 2025, they're projecting a 40% increase, and in 2026, they're projecting an 18% increase. So that gives them a 3-year average rate of return of 59% and a 2-year average rate of return from in 25 and 26 of 29%, which puts them as the 15th ranked. So that's what I did, and that was my logic, and I think it holds some water. So then what I have done is I'm going to put this on my website adjacent to my cheat sheet so that you can come if you're a member of the tribe and you can watch this, because these numbers will change. As they have earnings reports, they're going to, Wall Street is going to basically say, well, they either move their earnings projections up or they move them down, and these numbers will change accordingly. But I think it was a good question that Peter asked: who else is making money? And I think another one that would come to mind is SMCI. Now, I did a piece, a video yesterday, indicating that there are some questions about or SMCI's. There's a short report on it, so there's some question there, but still, they're ranked number 9 out of 42, and I think these are the 42 strongest stocks in the area. Another one I want to point out, I did a video yesterday on, is SYM, Symbotics. Again, there's a short report that is putting some things into question. Their PE ratio is 0 because they're not profitable, but their earnings per share in 2024, they're actually showing some profit. So that gives them a 700, and then a 161, and then a 73. So they're very high in the 3-year average, being lifted by that 700. But overall on the 2-year, they're still at 119. But again, I want to caution, these numbers aren't the only thing you should consider. You should consider their stability, their profitability, and the questionable circumstances that I brought up in yesterday's video about their projected backlog of orders, which it turns out that the CEO and the CFO of Symbotics owns a big part of that backlog of orders. In other words, they own the C&S grocery chain, which they say we're going to eventually upgrade all of their distribution centers, but that's a little shady. But that's another video. I think this is very valuable. I'll put it on our website, Best of Us Investors, along with my cheat sheet. And I think what I'll do is I'll give you 3 versions of it. One as to what this is, the overall alphabetically listed. And then I'll give you another one with the 3-year, who is at the top and who is at the bottom. And then the 2-year, who's at the top and who's at the bottom. And I think that'll give you some, it'll give Peter some understanding of who else is profiting off of the AI revolution. Hope that's helpful to you, and I hope I can see you in our stock talks where we can talk about this more and I can get to know you better as a member of our tribe. Talk to you again tomorrow.